So, can you give us a 7-second introduction to who you are?
I am Frenchish, I'm a drum and bass DJ, come from Malvern, been mixing for 5 years as of 2 days ago. Started making tunes, and that's about it.
First year at BIM, doing EMP, electronic music production. How's the production journey going, and what's your sort of creative process when making tunes?
It's gone a lot better since I've come to Bristol.
Yeah.
Mostly because I have to make tunes, being on this course that I can pass and get the grades that I want. But yeah, it's definitely given me more inspiration. I've made one of my favourite tunes so far because it was an assignment and I did things that I wouldn't normally do because it was what I had to do to hit the criteria. So I'd definitely say that it's going better than before, but yeah.
That's cheeky. That's saying it, I don't care, that is not getting cut in any way, shape or form. Yeah, so done a few DJ comps, won a few comps. Kelvin one you won, did Crossy one recently.
Yeah.
How do you sort of go about choosing what comps you're going to enter, and what's your sort of thought process when you're trying to enter these comps to sort of like get those sort of sets?
Last year I was getting quite disheartened if I lost type thing, early in the year, and I kind of just started to stay away from them.
Yeah.
But when it came to this year, I started to see a lot more they're just judges. So it's the Kelvin one was just him judging it. The Crossy one was just him judging it. And I've just said this year, if I see a comp, I'm going to enter it regardless of what happens. But if I'm playing a comp with a judge, I'll play a lot more of what I like. And then I'll cater it also towards their selection so that they can see that I can vary my stuff and play what they like as well. But if it's a comments-based thing, as sad as it is, I do play a bit more to the type of the crowd that's going to see it.
Yeah.
Just because of that. But I also I don't want to just play what people are going to like. I still want to play what I like.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. So is that a sort of 2025 goal then, is to try and enter more comps and those sort of things?
I'm definitely doing that more. I don't know if it's a goal, but I think I just said to myself, I was this year, regardless of what happens, no matter how many I lose, no matter how many I win, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Just because, at the end of the day, that's how Crossy came up as well. It was a lot of mixed comps, a lot of I'd just say mixed comps, really. That was how he came up, and it seemed to work.
So, because a lot of them are blend focused, what do you reckon is your favourite blend so far? What blend do you sort of go, I'm playing to the crowd, I know this is going to slap?
My favourite, I'd say, is my original Nutter Dub, but it's with 3 other tunes. So I've got that Dopamine Hits by, I think it's Rage Mode and Maxim MC. Shostakovich by AC13 on that DNB for Peace LP for Palestine. And the Leveler bootleg of Not So Bad.
And actually, if you want to watch that blend, that's in the Offer Tracks. That's releasing 7th of February, so this could already be out.
7th of March.
7th of March, there we go. I don't even know the date of it. But yeah, 7th of March, Off the Tracks, is him in Traffic. Absolutely sick mix. But yeah, that blends in it, and just a load of others as well. Yeah. Expanding on the whole making tunes, who would be 3 producers and 3 vocalists that you'd most want to work with? Be alive or dead, part of the drum and bass scene, not part of the drum and bass scene, just anyone that you would most want to work with when sort of creating a track.
3 producers. I'll put Camo, Crooked and Methodist in one, as a group, because they're just ridiculous altogether.
And they've just got that really iconic sound.
Yeah. Louis B, who's a 140 grime producer. I'd love to make a tune with him, he's sick. And probably Bloom as well. Bloom's really, really cool. And then vocalist-wise, Becky Hill, just because it's Becky Hill.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Manga Saint Hilaire, because he's a ridiculous grime MC, and I'd love to make a tune that could actually suit him. And then Liam Bailey, just because of his iconic voice, but he's so sick.
Yeah, that may be that I forgot that he sung Blind Faith, and that wasn't something that you. Oh yeah, you probably that you may have rinsed me for that one earlier. Yeah, so Liam Bailey, sick vocalist. Casting your mind back, can you remember your first performance and how did it go?
Yeah, it was in a club in Hereford. We'll forget the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing house music, R&B, just your commercial stuff, because at the time I didn't really have a name for myself.
Yeah.
And I'd emailed a load of clubs, and this was the only one that came back to me and said, all right, we'll take you on. And I think every set I'd play twice a week, and every set I'd play was 5 hours. And at the end of it, if I was lucky, I'd get to play an hour of drums. But as it carried on, like, I'd play less and less for like 45 minutes, half an hour, whatever. And I ended up falling out of love with playing there. But it definitely helped me play into a commercial crowd because with a drum and bass set, I'll plan the set to what I want to do. I'll plan it with my blends and whatever. Like, I'll still look at the crowd, and if I have to change it, I'll change it.
Yeah.
But playing in that environment, it was very much you base your tune selection on what everyone's feeling and who's in the room.
And as well, when you're sort of DJing commercially, you do learn sort of like different tips and tricks. Because like when you look at certain like house DJs, garage DJs like James High PZ, you know, they all use like sort of like very different methods. I suppose like especially with your sort of set, you do sort of build those like little like techniques in, and I think like having that basis of like, yeah, okay, I started off as a commercial DJ, but now I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I think it does make your sets like quite unique.
I'd definitely say because I started off on a type of music that like it had less going on. Like house music has less going on.
Yeah.
Rap music it just has a bit less than drum and bass does. I'd say that I definitely had to work on like transitions and effects a bit more so that I could make the set more exciting. And I'd definitely say that I've carried that into my sets that I play now because like fading between tunes and certain transitions, I'll definitely use like as many effects on the mixer as possible. Yeah.
Life's obviously going really busy at the moment, you know, university, DJing, all that sort of stuff. How do you find the balance between sort of like how life goes on and then sort of like balancing your own mental health on it? Like, have you got any like good strategies to deal with it or like?
No, honestly, I'm bad at it and I still need to figure that out. I'd say, like, I don't really know when I'm overworking myself at the moment. I kind of just get told by my missus and my family. But it's like when I've got uni going on, I've got music going on, and then I'm trying to like find time for myself within that because I'm so invested in music and because it started off as like my hobby that I loved to be my me time and to relax from everything. It's kind of hard to just find the way out of it right now.
But you say you haven't sort of got those methods, but actually what you're saying is you've got a support network around you of people who do sort of like clock on to the fact that
that's true.
You've got stuff going on and like having those sort of people to like identify, do you know what, you might need to take a break, you're doing this, you're doing that.
To be fair, literally, while we're doing this, at the start of this week, I said to myself, I need to like chill out a bit. I need to take a bit of a break because I'm not giving myself time at all. But literally today I've sat down and I've carried on editing this tune that I've started and trying to plan this set. But certain things they don't change, bro, because if you love something like that, taking a break from it doesn't really seem to be an option.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, I need to, don't get me wrong, but I can't find the time to because I enjoy it too much.
But at least, like, as I said, like, you know, you got your missus sort of like provide that sort of like watchful eye, just sort of make sure that, you know, you're not sort of burning yourself out. So, a bit of good conversation, but is there anything that you sort of like, you feel like you'd want to add, like any sort of like views on how you're finding the scene at the moment, like in general? Fucked.
Yeah, it's peak. With a lot of the grassroots venues going down, a lot of venues in general, I don't know if it's public knowledge, and you might have to like beep out the name or whatever, but Motion's probably going down.
Yeah.
Lakota's been talked about for however long, and we're continuously losing venues, and it's hard. Like I've spoken to a couple of people about it recently, like some fairly big heads. I won't name them because I don't like.
That's a private conversation.
I don't know if they'd want to talk about it, but like even themselves, they're finding it hard to get bookings at the moment because of the way that the scene is. Yeah. And it's a shame, but I won't stop because I love it regardless, and that's what it is. They won't stop either. But yeah, other than that, me and LK are really trying to push ourselves as a duo this year. Yeah. Like, I've always said any set that I get booked for, I'll always text that promoter and be like, while we're sorting this, can I get LK involved? Because I don't think at the moment people realise how important MCs are to a rave.
No, 100%. And I think as well, especially when you look at like some of the big guys, you know, HeadX being paired with X-Man, you know, Boo being paired with, how the hell have I just forgotten that?
People be live.
When you look at Boo being paired with like be live. It's like, I think it's quite good that sort of like DJs are having these sort of like combos where you could build a relationship with an MC, and then at the same time, that sort of amplifies your set in a way because they know what you're going to do at what point, so they can sort of like best work on that sort of crowd reaction. Where I think as you're sort of just DJing by yourself, you haven't got that sort of like ability to have that sort of like relationship.
They bridge the gap between you and the ravers, and I think it's so important. Like, if you look at people like B Live and Boo and Headaches and X-Man, they probably won't send each other the sets before, but they just know because they played with each other for so long. And also, they're just goated MCs, so they're just aware of what's happening. But when it comes to me and Logan, at the moment, I'm planning a new set, and I'm sending him every time I re-record it and get further into it, and he just learns it, because then it's like he finds a place for vocals where he likes to host. I wouldn't need to send him it, because he's ridiculously talented. But I feel like when I do, I know what he's going to do, and I can sometimes even like, the way I transition, I can tailor that to the lyrics that he's doing and things like that.
Yeah. So, you know, you've mentioned Logan, LK. Anyone else that you want to sort of like shout out at the end of this?
Shout out wise, it's got to be James Bunn, KP, Jenks, Archie, ACP, Skippy, all the bougie lot. I don't want to forget anyone now. Obviously, you guys at Evolution. Yeah, man.
Good little list.
Yeah, there's some list. Clocaine, obviously.
Yeah.
Gangster. Yeah. Traffic as well. Can't believe I've left that so late.
You know, I was just thinking about it, it's like,
this guy, man, honestly, I can't say how much he's done for me.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. After the first time I met, after LK introduced me to him, and since I've moved up here, he's done so much for me. It's ridiculous. But yeah, and then there's obviously like George Thoburn and people like that who are just working behind. Maybe a lot of people don't know who they are, but they're the reason that a lot of the stuff that goes on in Bristol goes on. So yeah. Wicked.
Well, thank you very much for this interview. And yeah, just as I said, Frenchish and Traffic off the tracks. It should be out now. I think it will be out now by the time you're watching this. It's scheduled out for tomorrow. This is Thursday. It's scheduled for Friday. Depends how quick this edit is. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and...
So.